Hi guys, it's Rennie back from another video, and today I'm going to do a completely different video, and I'm excited to do this because I recently just watched 8th grade yesterday, and I kept thinking about doing this review all day today, so I literally just came home to do this, and I really want to dive into this because there's a few topics I want to talk about. Stuff to do with today's generation and the movie itself and what I got from this, and just a few topics. And first I want to say, when I watched the trailer for the first time, I knew this was going to be cringy, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's such a good thing because, like, it's relatable. First of all, we're all cringy. Even me, who's 17, I'm cringy, and we're all cringy, I guess. So the fact that it's gonna be a little bit cringy was okay, and I was okay with that. Another thing I want to say, and I noticed in the trailer and noticed in the film, is that this movie was portrayed, the characters were portrayed by actual kids around those ages, and for some of you, you're probably like, what do you mean? But for those who get what I mean, I'm literally talking about the fact that, like, shows, if you, like, watch shows to do with teenagers, normally every show or movie, they're portrayed by kids who are really older than what they aged are meant to be, and some of them do look like that age they're meant to portray, and some of them don't really look that age and they look older, and you can tell. And then you have others that you just know is not even close to the age. And I wanted to say what I really loved about this, the fact that this is being played by someone around that age that they're meant to play. The character it means so much for me because, first of all, in the movie it shows that the girl who's, like, I don't know what age she's meant to play anyway, but anyway, whatever, she has acne, which is a complete normal thing, and we don't talk about that. We don't make a big deal about people having acne. I mean, I have acne. I don't know if you can tell properly, but I have one here, there, here. I have so many. But I love that. First of all, let me say I love that because it made it feel so relatable, I guess. She has acne, I have acne, you have acne, we all have acne. And normally in movies or shows to do with teenagers, the actor or actresses never, like, look like they have acne, like they have a really bad hair day, or they always look so perfect. They always look like models. They always look like older than what you think you would look at that age or whatever it is. And some of them, they do stuff that not really like most of us do, but whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking about one show because I was watching yesterday, Riverdale, for example. Riverdale came out yesterday, so on Netflix. So let me talk about Riverdale real quick. Riverdale, they're meant to be portrayed by 16, 17-year-old teenagers, right? Veronica and Betty, they don't look, to me at least, they don't look like they're 17. And Archie definitely doesn't look like he's 17. I mean, I don't have boys in my school that look like Archie or freaking Cole Sprout.
For the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And I feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen.
I mean, I wish, but they don't. And, like, I was watching the episode yesterday, and there was this part where Archie wakes up from a dream, and he's all, like, it looks like he has, like, so many, like, highlighter, actually, on his, like, six-pack. And I don't think boys wake up like that, but, like, and it doesn't really look so realistic to me, you know? And in this movie, everything felt so realistic. Like, for example, let me start and explain what the movie is about. It follows the story of an 8th grader who's on her last week or two of starting before she, like, graduates, starts high school, and The girl name is Kayla. She's the main character. She's actually a YouTuber, which I found that was interesting to add on. And I'll explain why, because some of her YouTube videos make sense in this movie. And so it follows the story of an 8th grader trying to fit in and trying just in time, to go to high school, trying to put herself out there, stuff that we all go through, younger or even today. Like me, myself, I try to put myself out there as much as I can, try to make friends, try to make stuff to do with them. And like, there was a lot of things that she was going through that I felt like I was going through, and I'm still going through and stuff. So like, yeah, and I totally relate to this eighth grade girl, like this girl, whatever. I feel like I relate to her so much, which was so, like, I don't know, different. So weird for me to think about. But can I also mention there is this mean girl in the movie called Kennedy? Kennedy? Yeah, Kennedy, which I have to admit I literally saw a little bit of my little sister who's 7 years old into this Kennedy girl. I'm not saying my sister is mean or anything, but I saw a little bit about her, and I'll explain why. But and then you have Kayla's crush. I also want to mention about Kayla's crush is called Aiden. One thing that I want to say is, like, when her crush comes in, like every time she sees a crush, it's like music comes in and then slow mo. Honestly, this is probably me when I see my crush. Kayla is so relatable for me. She's like so relatable, and I feel like she's a shy kid and she tries to fit in. Sometimes she gives people advice that she's not really taking of her own. That I feel like I do a lot. I'm trying to film a video. I also want to mention Kayla went to a birthday party of a girl she's not really friends with, and the girl didn't really want to invite her, but her mom really, like, kind of forced her because she's friends with her dad or something, from what I understand, which is Kayla, by the way, I'm talking about. Kennedy. Kennedy is the mean girl who had to invite Kayla because of her mom. She didn't really want it to, like, so cool, blah, 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 but she did. And I have to, like, give credit to Kayla for actually, like, doing, let's go and stuff. And she was kind of alone, which I felt so bad, and I wish if I was there, I would be talking to Kayla. Because to me, those other girls are, like, really bratty. But the thing that I liked in this part about her at the pool party is the fact that the chicken nugget guy, I call him the chicken nugget guy, and I'll explain why, but his name is Gabe. He is the birthday girl, the popular girl, Kennedy's cousin, and he's very goofy. He's very, like, relatable to all the, like, to some of the guys who are in the same year, and like, he's very relatable, and I love him. And I was shipping Kayla and Gabe so hard. I was like, she needs him instead of going to Aiden. You should stay with Gabe because he's perfect. I was shipping them straight away from the first moment I saw him talking to her. He was so funny. He made me laugh, and he's played by Jack Ryan, I think. I didn't write it down, but I think that was his name. And okay, I'm so sorry I had to move this. It's because my neighbor decided to do something in his back garden that that was too much noise for this video. So I'm back in my room, and yeah, I'm gonna continue. So I was talking about Gabe. Gabe is so relatable as well. So goofy, so cringy, but so funny, and I loved his character so much. And the fact that he was so nice to Kayla, and he was literally the only one, and he's nothing like his cousin. He's so nice and so perfect, I would say, that I loved his character so much. He was funny. The guy who played him, honestly, congrats, man. He was, like, so good. And I also want to talk about some of the topics now that I'm going to get into and I'm going to dive into. The first topic is about, their image and confidence. So, again, I'm going to go back to the YouTube thing. Kayla is actually a YouTuber, which is very interesting. And she makes videos, from what I understood, her channel is about giving advice. Every video she gives advice on something, and sometimes it shows her videos and, like, her talking about something, and then it shows like her trying to do it because she's trying to like fit in, which we all do at one point in our life, even maybe 2 times or whatever. But we all try to fit in. If we're the new kids in school, if we in a job place, even if you're working or even not, we all try to fit in our life. And she's trying to fit in, and she's giving advice to other kids, stuff that she feels like she can't do herself. But she does give good advice, honestly. I feel like she talks about confidence, which is something she doesn't have, but she talks about put yourself out there, you know, do this. She's trying to motivate other people who are watching. Now, in the movie, we didn't get to see who are those people are watching. We don't know if anyone in school watches her videos because it didn't really mention or showed. Only one person mentioned that they watched her video, and that was Gabe. And yeah. The next thing is taking your own advice. I felt like the movie was kind of speaking out to kids, saying all these advice that you might give to someone, you should stop giving, not stop giving advice, but like kind of start listening to your own advice. Which I remember hearing this before for myself, I think, or from someone else. I don't know, but like listen to your own advices, because we're all kind of in a way good at giving advice, but we just sometimes don't like use them on ourselves. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. Anyway, then we have trying to put yourself out there, which I feel like I already explained a little bit, which is Kayla tries to put herself out there by going to the pool party and stuff. And like I said, it shows parts where she's showing her YouTube video talking about stuff. And there was one where she talks about putting herself out there. And she's like, yeah, put yourself out there, and it would do so good for you. And the more you put out there, the more confident you're gonna be, or something like that. She said, I don't exactly remember. But then it shows her going to the pool party, and she wasn't comfortable or confident, but like confident. But because the other kids don't really talk to her, and everyone's like all on their phone and bratty, I think. And that Kaylin girl, I don't really like her. But yeah. Then we had her relationship with her dad, which I feel in a way that was something that like needed to be shown a little bit, because some of these stuff that was showing, I see my sister in, as I was trying to say. And I see my sister in the mean girl, Kennedy, because, not because I feel like my sister is mean. My sister is like 7 years old, and I feel it's because like there are certain things that my sister show that she does, or like she shows that she's not interested in, that I was, or like how completely of a different people we were. And that mostly comes from the influence of the generation you're in. Now, I don't want to sound old, but like I was born in 2001, and me growing up, me around 7 years old, I was like watching Disney Channel. I was so into that. I was like I wanted to be like the cool kid who cared about like having all the collection of the like, oh my god, like the oh my god, I can't even remember right now. I had it all in my head. High School Musical, or stuff from like Cheetah Girls. Like I was like that kid that always wanted all this stuff, that always had this stuff. Actually, I still have those stuff. I haven't even changed that much. I still have it, actually. I'm gonna even show you. Like, for example, I still have my Wii DS, and I have my Hannah Montana like case thing, and I still have these stuff, and I'm not even afraid or feel cringy for showing it, and I'm totally fine with it. If I show my sister these songs or the shows and stuff, my sister's gonna be like, ew, what the hell, this is so old, like, no. And she's only 7, and I find it sad sometimes, like, today's generation's all about phone, and now they're interested in YouTubers, and I'm so sorry guys, but my camera died, and yeah, that is very frustrating. But let me continue, because there's a lot of stuff I still want to talk about. For example, I want to talk about like her relationship with her dad that I didn't finish talking about. What I wanted to say about that was the fact that she wouldn't, like, on the table when you're eating, she just wanted to be on her phone and like not really touch her food and like Snapchat or whatever she wanted to do. Me in my house and the way I was raised, we're not even allowed our phone while we're eating. We're meant to have a conversation with each other, and like that's how I was raised. Now, I find it normal, like it must be normal, like now for the generation now, because for example, my sister, like she's growing up with completely different rules than mine, and like I said, on the table, we don't have phones. We all have a conversation. We all gather together and eat as a family, even if it's just two people. And my sister's way of having dinner is not like that. Is having dinner, but also sat with her phone watching YouTube, probably watching Jake Paul even and Logan Paul because that's what she's into. So yeah, and that's how different we both are from like when I was her age and how she is like now, like you know what I mean. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Like it kind of also kind of affect like your relationship with your parents, because she was so rude to her dad a lot, and I felt like that was so necessary because her dad is genuinely the most sweetest person ever. Like I wish my dad could ask me all the time, how was your day at school? And like he was so nice and he cared about her, and he was always like, I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you, like you're the best. And she would always just like have a go at him and say, oh, don't look at me like that. And I thought that was just like so annoying, and I felt like literally wanting to slap that girl for that. So I'm sorry, Kayla, but you really got me pissed off on that one. Next one is the car scene with Riley. I wanted to talk about this bit because this was kind of disturbing for me. Like for example, I'm not gonna spoil too much or tell endings or anything, but I just want to say, if you're going to watch the movie, look out for the car scene. The car scene was the most disturbing thing. I just wanted her to get out of the car as fast as she could, but like yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. The next one is the whole sending nudes kind of like topic. Now, this generation today, a lot of people send nudes to like their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And I feel like this is starting to become an issue from what I saw in the movie, even for kids in primary school, even for kids from kindergartens or whatever, because they feel like they're older now that they have phones and stuff. And then like the conversation she was having with her crush, Aiden, she heard from a girl that that there's a rumor going around that he likes girls who send nudes or something like that, or that he broke up with his girlfriend, or his girlfriend broke up with him because she wouldn't send nudes or something. Something like that. And she kind of got interested because she really wanted to date him, and she was kind of a bit desperate. So she went and pretended that she had nudes, and I laughed a little bit when she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just pulled out my nudes or something." And he wasn't even paying attention at her, and then suddenly when she said the word nudes, he's like, "Oh my god, hi." And that annoyed me. Like from the start, I knew there was something sketchy of that little boy. But, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to say anything about the kid. I'm just going to say that the chicken nugget guy was perfect, and girl, you should be with him. When you watch a movie and there's two people, the girl is always interested in one person that's definitely not right for her. When the person who's friends or whatever, who tries to talk to her or whatever, is literally the person that's giving you signs that you are perfect for that person. That's what I felt between Kayla, Aiden, and Gabe. And Gabe is so perfect. Like, Kayla should have cared and been with him from the start, but the little was fun. I also want to say about the chicken nugget scene, in case you didn't get what I mean. There was a part where, oh my god, Gabe gave her chicken nuggets, and he had all the flavors. And when he said he had all the flavors, my heart was like, yes, that is a winner. Like, that is boyfriend material right there. That is definitely boyfriend material. Why? Because girls, listen up. Get yourself a boyfriend that gives you chicken nuggets with every single flavor that exists. Get you a boy that do that, okay? Don't get yourself a boy like Aiden, but get you a boy like Gabe. Okay, now that is all I'm gonna say from the movie 8th grade. As you see, there was a lot I wanted to say, there was a lot I want to mention, and yeah, I feel like this was really long, but you know, I'm gonna like edit a little bit, so yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you loved it or whatever. Give me another review to do if you feel like I should do a review. Like I said, this is something that I don't usually do. If I do reviews, it's always on books. I never really do on movies, and I just thought that this movie I had to do a review in it. So yeah, for me, this movie was a success. I give this a thumbs up. This was honestly really good, and I do recommend. Since it's R-rated, you should watch it with a parent. So yeah, give this a like, subscribe, comment down below what I should do next, and I will see you for my next video. Bye.
I wear short shorts.